So if property value doesn't make sense, rental doesn't make sense, in short answer, don't buy. People selling 500,000, you are buying at 400,000. So recently, there's also MRT3 line has been announced and then getting public feedback, right? Would it be good in like buying projects or buying auction or buying subsales? Which type of property is the best? It actually depends on your personal profile and in your preferences, and of course your budget. Budget as in how much capital outlay, cash on hand that you can spend. Project need the least amount of money, but usually project are priced in the future value already. Subsales maybe incomes in between. It sells in the market price. Maybe sometimes you can get a good deal. Auction still the same. Auction require the most capital outlay, the most cash outlay that you need to do because you need to cover a lot of outstanding, and then you need to pay the down payment, legal fees, stamping, and so on. Similar like subsales, but sometimes you need to pay more for the auction. And then auction, of course, there's also uncertainty. So out of these three types, right, it's never a one answer that can give you. If you know that the property value, if you know that the property selling price is lower than the value, first thing, then you start looking at it, see whether it makes sense or not in terms of rental. Why buy something which you don't find a value to buy? Okay, so for first home buyers, how do you know whether you are ready to buy a property? Of course, depending on your affordability. No matter how much you are earning, but of course, general rule of thumb, if you earn more than 5,000 net income, not gross income, net income, then it will be more comfortable. Depending on your preference, your priority. Maybe you need to buy a car, you need to buy something else, you are prioritizing traveling more than just having a home yet. Yeah. Then second thing is that maybe you are buying for investment instead of home, so maybe you can rent it out. Your game plan, your strategy is different. So if you rent it out, it doesn't take out too much of your own take-home salary. You can actually earn rental income to cover some part of your commitment, then it's okay. So it actually depends. Rule of thumb, more than 5,000, you can start looking at it. But same thing goes back to, if the property rental doesn't make sense, doesn't fall into cash flow type at least 4 and above, or the property value that you're looking at is higher than market price, you are not buying something value. Even if you buy at the market price, selling at 500,000, market price also 500,000. So you should buy something, selling 500,000, you should buy at least like 400,000, like 20% below market. Then the chances for you to earn is higher. You can control your risk. If the property price or due to market sentiment or due to whatever external factors that cause a property not so sellable, then the price goes down, right? Because of the demand goes down. Then at least you still have a safety margin, and of course you are buying at a valuable price lah. People selling 500,000, you are buying at 400,000, or people selling at 1 million, you are buying at 800,000. Yes, property is quite easy to lose money. Yeah, it's really quite easy to lose money, and it's not easy to make money. Yeah, it's not an easy scheme, cepat kaya, fast making money kind of investment product. If you are looking for faster things, right, definitely go for stocks and other investment property. Not a investment advice. Property is really very slow. So in order to make money from property, you need to know at least two things lah. The cash flow type the property can get, the property value, whether the selling price is lower than the transacted value, where you can check from bricks and also the age. Yeah, these two things first. Don't care about anything about whether there's LRT, MRT coming up more and so on. These two things doesn't make sense. The rest of it may not help so much. Maybe it helps in terms of increasing a bit of rental demand, but may not exactly increasing the rental value to cover your installment. So recently, there's also MRT3 line has been announced and then getting public feedback, right? So would MRT3 immediately bring effect to properties around it, walkable to the MRT3 station? Based on MRT Line 1 and Line 2 experience and analysis and data, right? First thing, it will not bring immediate effect. It's a long-term effect. Long-term effect as in it will benefit in terms of two things. The property value so that you can look into capital gain. And then second thing is the rental. MRT 1 or 2 or 3, the same concept. If you are buying not at a good value, first thing, don't buy. You are buying something which gives you cash flow number 5, don't buy. Unless you have really a very strong reason, strong input or information that this area there will be something, a big catalyst coming in. I'm not sure what. So information is very important. If you have such information, yeah, maybe it is a game changer. But how many game changer will happen in the market is a very uncertain things. For example, HSR announced many years back, MRT3 in fact also announced many years back. But due to a lot of changes involved, due to market, due to demand, due to political changes and so on, right? It will indirectly affect you as a property buyer or investor. So if you are not able to take into this kind of aspect, information, consideration, analysis, right? Then you are not able to make a more accurate, a more calculated risk decision to choose what type of product suits you, right? If you're buying a MRT3 last time, let's say you say, I'm buying a MRT3, wow, but MRT3 got delayed and there's no certain date of completion. Even if it's now, MRT3 completion is around 2030 to 2032. How fast is this? The MRT will price into your property value. It takes time, right? So why not look into something which you can benefit as of today? Maybe you can look into MRT 1, maybe MRT 2, do some research and you find something valuable, validate it with the data, and if it makes sense, why not? Not necessarily look into MRT line 3 because it comes much later. Like recently we have been talking about Monkera stations, Hatamas, there's also a stations. Yeah, maybe good if the property pricing, whether Subsales or the new projects coming up in Hatamas or Monkera area, is value. If it's the pricing is good, then maybe it's worth the wait. But usually project pricing is taken into consideration of the future price, future value. Please, don't just ask me that project name good to buy or not. It really depends on a lot of factors. Give me some information about the project, about the layout, the size, the price, and then what do you think about it first. Like for example, you have done some competition analysis. What's the price point? What's the rental? Then we can discuss. But of course, review takes time, takes effort. So if I'm not able to cover you, don't expect that I always will be able to reply to you on certain projects, certain question. Feel free to ask, but I try my best. I try my best to answer as much as possible. Unless, I'm not asking you for money, unless you say, okay, for review, you're willing to actually subsidize in terms of the consultation, the time, effort put in, right? Then we can discuss. I'm not putting this as an upfront to sell you. If there's any more question, feel free to ask me, drop your comment below, or even drop your DM to me directly to the Instagram. Today's videos is quite different. It's like a Q&A. So I've been gathering all these questions from different platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. So try to answer as many questions as possible regarding before you buy, what are the things that you need to do during your purchase, and after your purchase, after you have gotten your key, what are the important things, journey that a property investor will go through, will need to know, will experience along the way, right? So hope it helps. Follow for more video like this. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.